Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a Q&A on gastric sleeve surgery. um it has been 11 months since practically 11 months since I got the surgery. In March it'll be 1 year. So I decided to do this video because honestly, when I first got the surgery, I knew that I wanted to be open about it. I have never lied about it if someone has asked me. And I first posted about it on my Instagram, and I did receive like a lot of questions, and I did receive a lot of messages from people saying that they too wanted to get the surgery. And they just had a lot of questions, and I answered as best as I could. But I just thought, it'd probably be interesting for some people if I did this video, because I know a lot of people are interested in the surgery, or if not, one similar to the one that I got. So first off, I did receive the gastric sleeve, which is different from the gastric bypass. Difference between the two is, I'm not a doctor or anything, so I don't know specifics, but from what I understand, the bypass is more intense because you do lose weight faster, and they do something a little bit different than the sleeve to the stomach. I know the sleeve, they just take out like a portion of your stomach, which makes your stomach very small. And with the sleeve, the doctor told me that I can lose up to 100 pounds. With the bypass, I believe people are able to lose like 150 pounds or more. So that one's a little bit more intense. So first off, going into the surgery, I was 288 pounds, and that was the biggest I had ever been in my entire life. I've been overweight, I would say, my whole life, because I did start becoming overweight around the age of 7, 8 years old. And that is why the doctor recommended the sleeve, I guess, because I believe the bypass is more for maybe like 300 or above. And he just told me, you're young and it is easier to lose weight the younger you are, so the sleeve would be perfect for you. Right now I am weighing 200 pounds, so I have lost 88 pounds already. I do feel like if I didn't have so much loose skin, that I would probably be weighing less, but I do have a lot of loose skin, and that is a struggle for me right now. It does make you kind of have a lack of confidence, because you're like so happy, oh, I lost this weight, but now I'm insecure about the loose skin that I have. But it's something that I'm looking into and seeing what are the options for me. So let's get into the questions. Someone asked, what do you eat in a day? I feel like for that, I would want to do a video on this, so let me know if you guys are interested in that. If you are, I will definitely be down to do that, because it's crazy, like the way that your diet changes with the surgery. So I think that would be pretty interesting. Another question is, what has been the most difficult thing to do in the entire process? I would say the most difficult thing is probably the amount of food that you're able to eat in one sitting. That was difficult for me because you do meet with a nutritionist, and she did coach me on what I need to do and how difficult it would be, but you never really know until you actually do it. And in the beginning, it was so hard for me to even finish a protein shake. It would take me probably like 2 or 3 days just to finish one, and it was so hard. And then once I actually started eating real food, it felt like I was learning to eat all over again. It felt like I was a child, because I didn't really understand my limits obviously in the beginning, because I was so used to the way that I would eat. Not saying that I would eat excessively or eat a lot of food before the surgery. I honestly wouldn't, but now it's like you eat literally like a baby. And when I started eating like solid foods, there was like a time where I did throw up because I ate too fast, and that was something that they coached me on. So that was really hard in the beginning, but now like I know my body and I know to take my time, and I know like my portioning. So it is really difficult, but you'll get there and it is possible. What was the payment situation? So I think this is probably one of the most asked questions I got when I posted about my surgery on my Instagram. A lot of people were asking me like, how did you afford it and stuff? And I will be 100% honest, I'm not embarrassed. I was able to get the surgery for free because I do have Medi-Cal. I work part-time and I am a full-time student, so I have Medi-Cal, and I was able to get the surgery through them completely free. And I feel like a lot of people do not know about this, and the reason why I actually knew about it a little bit before speaking to my doctor is because I have a friend who she received the surgery and she had to pay and everything, and she was the one that told me, girl, you have Medi-Cal, you'll be good. And I went to the doctor, had an appointment, and I was talking to her about my weight, and I was telling her how I've been struggling, and you know, I've been overweight my whole life and stuff. And at first she wanted to refer me to a nutritionist, and she was like, you know, it'll be free through your Medi-Cal or whatever. And then she's like, you know what, but actually she was like, you qualify for this surgery because you have the BMI. And she's like, I'm gonna refer you, whatever. And boom, that's how it all went. And I, depending on the type of plan that you're in within Medi-Cal, you do have to do like a certain amount of classes before the surgery. It all just depends. That's what they told me. So with mine, I had to do 6 months of meeting with the nutritionist before she signs me off, and then that's when they like process everything. And they process everything, and then that's when you get your surgery date. So who knows, maybe even if you have private insurance and not even Medi-Cal, there's possibly a way for you to, maybe even like half of it or whatever. But I would see like TikToks that people would go to TJ to get the surgery for like $4,000, but I don't know. Also, the day of my surgery, I met a man who was getting the same surgery as me too, but he was paying cash, and he said that he paid $8,000. So yeah, but he didn't have any insurance at all. And then I met some people that had private insurance, and the insurance helped him out with some of it, and then they had to pay some. I just don't know how much they had to pay. So another question is, did your hair fall out? Yes, it did. So this is something, and it's funny because the person that asked me the question said like that they want to do it, but they're scared because of the hair loss. And that is something that a lot of people are scared of, and I was even scared of before too, because I was like, oh my god, like I don't want to lose my hair, you know. But I was like, fuck it, the hair loss is not a deal breaker for me. I was like, this is something that I really want, so I don't care. So I went through with it, with obviously, and I did lose hair in the beginning. I was losing a lot, which I feel is because it was so hard for me to get my protein shakes in, and protein, not having any protein is what's gonna make you lose the hair. And that was what the nutritionist kept telling me from the beginning, please try to do your protein shake because you're gonna be losing hair. And also, I have always had thick hair. Even though I bleached it, everything, I still have a lot of hair, so I wasn't too scared. But I was losing a lot, and it was so weird because I would lose so much in like chunks and chunks and chunks, but my hair was still growing. It was so long, I barely cut it, and now it's short. But the hair loss has stopped. I want to say it stopped like around I want to say maybe like the 5th or 6th month it stopped. It started slowing down after maybe like on the 3rd or 4th month. It started like calming down, but then it completely stopped. I want to say like around the 5th or 6th month. I'm sure everyone is different, but it all just depends on you, your body, your protein intake, your vitamins, and all of that stuff. So I wouldn't let that be a deal breaker for you. Just, you know, just do it if you really want to, and if you are losing the hair, just try to stay positive and get your protein in. Okay, so next question is pros and cons. So there is plenty of pros and cons, and it's so funny because one of the ladies that I met the day that I got my surgery, she was getting a reversal actually, or I forgot what it's called, but like, yeah, I think it's that, where basically she was getting it all over again, and she had told me, like, you know, it's not a good idea for you to do like a lot of research about the surgery before, because she's like, that could discourage you, but which I didn't do like deep research because I didn't want to freak myself out, but I did do a little bit of research, but it is always good to know the pros and the cons. So for pros, I would say number one, you are getting yourself to a healthy weight, because yes, you can be overweight and still healthy, but it can become hard on your bones and other parts of your body. Another pro is gaining more confidence, because yes, again, I don't want to say like the way to be is thin or the way to be is a certain way, but this is for me, I'm speaking what I think for myself are pros and cons. And I think another pro is gaining more confidence, not only in the way of, oh, I feel more confident because I'm thinner, because that's not the only way that I feel more confident. I would say just in little activities that you normally do. For instance, me going to Disneyland, there were rides where I felt discouraged because you know, it's me, my boyfriend, and my daughter, and sometimes you're able to see 3 people in one row, and I want to do that because I want us to experience a ride with her together. And there were times where we couldn't fit because I was bigger and I had to sit separate from, I either had to sit with my daughter or sit by myself, and then him by himself, whatever. So now I feel happier because in those rides that we couldn't fit, we can fit now, because I did lose almost 100 pounds. So I would say in that way you gain more confidence. A con, there's plenty of cons, you know, you lose your hair, it's harder for you to eat certain foods, you can't eat like a normal person, it's hard to drink water, you know, stuff like that. But these are all things that are totally worth it if losing the weight is your main goal. So don't, like I said before, do not let any of the cons discourage you, because there is cons in everything, but at the end of the day, if this is something that you want, it's worth it. Okay, so next question is, how long did your recovery take and how was the pain level? For sure, watching this, hit the like. So the recovery time varies from person to person. That's what I constantly was asking before I got the surgery, and the nurses and stuff would tell me, oh, so everyone's different, you know, some people are up and good the next 2-3 days, some people, you know, take longer than whatever. And I was like, you know what, my pain tolerance is pretty high, like I'll be good, like I know I'm gonna be that one of those people that's good after like the 3rd day. And nope, I was down bad for, I want to say like 5 or 6 days was when I really was like, okay, it's so hard for me to walk and I'm still in a lot of pain. because because I went to like my first appointment like the 6th day or something after the surgery, and obviously I was able to, you know, get up, go in the car and all that, but it was still a little bit painful because you're just sore in the abdominal area. And then to top it off, my car is a truck which is higher up, doesn't have a step or anything, so it was really hard for me to get in the car and get out. It was a little bit painful. And after like a week is when like the soreness went away, but then you can't like lift or anything like that until I think my doctor gave me 4 or 5 weeks. And I was so impatient, especially because at the time me and my sister-in-law, like right before my surgery, we were being really consistent together with the gym, where we were going like Monday through Friday. And she still wanted to go, and I would go with her literally just to like guide her through the workout. And that's what made me like more impatient, and I was like, I want to work out, I want to work out so bad. Just being there and not working out, it sounds dumb, but it also felt good to still be able to go and just be in the environment. Like it felt like I was being consistent even though I wasn't able to work out. So her pain level, the first couple of days, on a scale of 1 through 10, I'm gonna give it like a 15 for me. Everyone is different, but for me, it was pretty bad because I remember waking up from the surgery and I instantly was in pain. Like I remember the nurse waking me up, and then I just opened my eyes and I was like, ugh, like boom, it instantly hit me. And then once I was like in the room and stuff, like they started giving me like my pain meds, and it would help, but like it was just indescribable. Like laying down made me feel like, oh my, like that anxious feeling of I just want to get up, because you want the feeling to go away, but then you get up and it's so painful. And then they want you to be walking in the hospital because they don't want you to get a blood clot or anything, and to walk was just so painful. And I remember the nurse was walking with me, and I was like wanting to cry, and I told her, this is way worse than when I gave birth. And she was like, that's what a lot of women say. And because during my birth I felt everything, okay, and it just, in the moment, it just couldn't compare. The pain levels just couldn't compare. It was worse. And of course everyone's gonna be different, so I don't want to scare anyone, but the pain was bad. But I would do it 100 times over again, like, because it's that worth it. Also, I was blessed because I requested like 2 weeks off from work, and I was still in school, but I had to, you know, like I got lucky because I missed like that week that I got my surgery, but then the week after my surgery was spring break, so I got lucky. I basically didn't have to go to school for 2 weeks, but I technically only missed 1 week. And then with work I requested 2 weeks off, but then once I seen like that, like once I started having to follow like my diet and stuff, because it's a very strict diet over the 6 weeks, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna request off longer, because I work in food and I just couldn't fathom the thought of me having to be around food all day, because you can't eat food. And I felt like it was gonna either gross me out or it was just gonna discourage me or whatever. So I requested more time off. I also did that because I was like, I'm in a lot of pain still or whatever. So yeah, everyone's different, but that was my pain experience. My last question is, how do you feel now? So now I am feeling great. This is a question that I get a lot from people that like I'm not even like good friends with. Like they will message me and say like, oh, how do you look? You look so good. Like I actually got another question, but you look so bomb, girl. Thank you. or whatever, and I feel the love, I feel the support, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate those that ask me how do I feel and stuff, because not everyone understands that this is not an easy way out. This is something difficult, this is a sacrifice, and it's really hard. But now I feel amazing. Every day is just a learning process, every day is different. But I feel really good. I feel 100 times better than I did when I was 288 pounds, because I just feel healthier, I feel lighter, happier, and there's just a lot of more things that I just feel more confident doing. And maybe that's not everyone's case. Maybe there are people that could be weighing the same amount as me and they feel perfectly fine, and that's great, that's you, but that wasn't me. So that's why I did the surgery. So that was the last question. I do just want to give a little bit more background, which I should have done in the beginning, but I'll just do it now. I want to share the first 6 weeks of after having the surgery. Everyone is different, but it was really hard, and it's something that I tell people that didn't see me going through the process in the first 6 weeks, because you don't really know until you do it. Like, I could explain it to you and everything, but you're not gonna know how you truly are gonna feel until you actually do it. But it was really hard, because the first 2 weeks is just protein shakes, and let me tell you, it's gonna be almost a year and I still get grossed out of I've tried so many different ones and I still get grossed out, but it's starting to get better and I'm starting to love them again. But I think it was just really hard because that was something that I had to strictly only eat for a while, so I don't know, I just got grossed out. But yeah, those first 2 weeks, and then after that the next couple of weeks are blended pureed food, and I remember that was like heaven on earth when I first did that. When I first was able to eat the pureed food, like, people in my house thought it was gross because I was blending up tuna with like mayo and a little bit of like pepper, but dude, it was like heaven sent, because I was only able to do the protein shakes. And then after that, the next couple weeks, you're like able to start eating like mashed foods, and then finally by like the 6th week is when you're able to start eating solids. And it feels so weird because your stomach hasn't had it in so long, but you start getting used to it and you start learning different things about your body. So yeah, that's why, like I said, if you want to see the what I eat in a day, let me know and I will definitely do that. And I believe I have a video of myself when I first tried the pureed food, because I was like, I want to remember this moment, I want to see like how I look, because I was just in my house those first couple of weeks, because everyone is different, but I just felt like to stay strong I needed to just be in my house. Like, obviously I would go here and there, but I needed to just be home. And it was still difficult because everyone in my house is eating food and they're able to buy In-N-Out or whatever. And it's so funny because I remember they bought In-N-Out, and this is when I was on the puree stage, and then I was like, you know what, just get me the burger and I'm gonna blend it. So I did, I blended it and it was just as good. And I got my protein in, and everyone was like, ew, it's so weird. And I was like, trust me, if you were in my shoes you would think that this is just as good. But I want to share like how I looked then and then how I look now, and I still have a long way to go. I still want to lose way more weight, and I still want to work on the loose skin and all of that stuff, but I'll still just share that. So I just want to say that if you're thinking about doing it, just do it, stay dedicated, You got this. Don't let anyone discourage you, because there was plenty of people who were discouraging me, you know, telling me like, oh, it's gonna be too hard, or why are you gonna do that to yourself, you're so young, this and that. But it's totally worth it. So don't let anyone discourage you, and just go through with it. Just go through with it. And you know, there's always going to be that one person that's supporting you or whatever, and you know, just keep them by your side. And that was definitely, you know, something that I appreciated, you know, those around me who actually supported me and everything. And you know, I was just blessed to have my partner there for me and just supporting me through the whole thing. Never discouraged me, didn't make me feel bad or anything. So that was really helpful. You know, and if you are getting the surgery and if you have gotten it, don't ever let anyone tell you that it's the easy way out, because it definitely isn't easy. You still have to work out. It's hard for you to eat certain things. Like I will not set foot inside of a buffet or whatever, like, or like those places like Jen Korean barbecue or whatever, where it's all you can eat, because there's no point. I don't even eat a lot, and then also like it would just make me feel weird. Like I don't want to like overeat or whatever. So it's a difficult thing, and there has even been people that have asked me, well, when is it over, or when do you go back to normal? And I'm like, never. This is something that you have to keep up with for the rest of your life, because I did meet someone the day that I got my surgery where she was getting the surgery again, and she was an older lady, and she told me, don't do this to yourself, don't have to do it again. And one of her biggest things that she told me was, where she messed up, was eating and drinking at the same time. This is something that you have to follow when you get the surgery. You can't eat and drink at the same time. If you eat, you need to wait 30 minutes before you drink something, and vice versa. And that is something that I have stuck by. And it is hard because there's days where I struggle to get my water intake in. But it's crazy. I'm so used to not eating and drinking at the same time anymore. And even if I'm eating something spicy, nope, no sip of water. I am waiting my 30 minutes because I took her advice and I was like, nope, not doing it. And I just can't imagine if I had to redo it all over again. Like, yes, like I said, it's worth it, I would, but not if I did it to myself again, you know. And let me know if you guys want to see the what I eat in a day video, or give me any other suggestions. If you want to hear more about the whole process or whatever, let me know. And I have been very open about anything, so you can always ask me, DM me, whatever. I'm not gonna give medical advice or anything, but I'll just let you know what my experience was or whatever. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.